The story begins with a woman who is being interviewed by her own children. Mom tells that I haven't met my mom and dad for the past 15 years. Actually, I wanted to marry my school teacher, but my mom and dad didn't like it. So they threw me out of the house. They had a girl and a boy and their children. The name of the daughter is Becca. Mom tells that I am very happy that my mom and dad have found me through the internet after 15 years. They were happy because they had seen their children for the first time. Afterward, they take the children home. This house was in an open and desolate area. It was snowing here. But when the two children came to their room, they found that there were no signals in their mobile phones. Before going to bed, their grandfather came to their room and said, "No one will go to eat their food because there is a waste of food there, so you can slip and fall. And yes, children, you know that I and your grandmother have grown old. So we go to bed early. It's almost 9:30, so we have made a rule that no one goes out of the room after 9:30. So you also take care that no one goes out of the room after this time." Saying this, they leave from there. But as soon as 10 o'clock 23 minutes passed, Becca, who had not slept, was eating her grandmother's favorite dish. So even after saying no, she came out of her room quietly. She was also making a video. But then she suddenly saw her grandmother in a very strange condition. She had worn very open, white clothes. Her hair was also open. She was vomiting at places. Seeing this, Becca was surprised. So she comes back to her room and sleeps. But the next morning, when she opened her eyes, she came out and saw that her grandmother was absolutely fine. Who is talking with her brother Tyler? She is also making breakfast for them. So she goes to her grandmother and tells about last night. She also tells about her grandmother. That grandmother was in a very bad condition, on which the grandmother started to explain. "Son, do not worry. Actually, it is the problem of their stomach. They have taken medicine and they are absolutely fine." Now both the children see that there is such a place under the house where a person can drink and cannot walk, because it was a very small place. The place was very liked by the children to play. So they decide to play hide and seek here. But when both were inside, a woman with long hair moves towards Becca. Becca was stopped, but when she turned back and saw, she was very scared. She immediately runs and comes out. After it, that woman also pats Tyler. But he also escapes as it is. But he had not come out yet. He was still inside. So Becca started to worry about him. She goes inside to check her brother, where that woman again came after Becca. She says, "I will catch you, Becca. Where will you go after escaping?" Hearing this, Becca again comes out, where this time her brother also came out with her. But at this time, that woman, who was behind them, she comes out with her niece. It was revealed that she was none other than the grandmothers of the children, who were joking with them. She started laughing loudly by scaring them. After their departure, the children became very angry. Now they go to the school with their grandmothers, where their mother used to teach. They had cameras. They were making the video because they wanted to make the whole film here. Reaching there, they say to their grandmothers, "I am feeling something strange. As someone is following us, there was a boy standing there, to whom the grandmothers go and start beating him without thinking. However, the children also refuse them, but the grandmothers did not listen." From this, the children were shocked, because he was not really following them. He did not even know them. At night, when the two girls were sleeping in their room, then suddenly Becca's eyes opened with a voice, going to the door when she listened to it with her ears. It was looking as if a wall is opening the door outside. Immediately, she wakes her brother and tells about it. She looks in a bad condition. Her face was facing the wall. She was pushing the wall with her nails. Before the grandmother's eyes go on them, they quickly close the door. But now their condition was very bad. The next morning, Becca tells her grandmothers about the strange behavior of the grandmothers. She is not understanding what is happening with them. On it, the grandmothers tell that your grandmothers have a mental illness, as some people go to sleep at night, because they have this illness. Similarly, the illness of your grandmothers. In the night, people do strange things in the dark of the sun. At that time, she is not conscious, and it happens after 9:30. So now it will be better for you both not to come out of your room at this time. After a while, their grandmothers say through the window, "Children, I am sorry. I have made a mistake. I have got something on the camera of your laptop while cleaning, although I tried to clean it, but it was not done." Hearing it, Tyler started to doubt his grandmothers, that they did it intentionally. After it, she talks to her mother on the phone. Tyler tells her mother that I am not feeling good here. Grandmother and grandmother are very strange. They do strange things. Hearing it, her mother started to laugh. Son, it is nothing like that. She is very good. She loves you all. You must be feeling the same because she has become old. So my child, do not be worried. Stay in peace. Enjoy. Becca also says yes to her mother. After a while, Becca goes to her grandmother. Grandmother, I want to take your interview because I have to record whatever you will say. On which her grandmother agreed. The first question was asked. How did you feel when Mom left the house? Hearing this question, grandmother felt something. She says, closing her mouth and shaking her head, No, I will not give you an interview. Now Tyler had a doubt on his grandmother. To know the truth, he starts to install a hidden camera in the room outside. But then Becca came here. She says to her and refuses. No, Tyler, it is a very bad thing. You are not doing this. That's why when the two girls were in their room, they started hearing the loud noise of someone's footsteps outside, as if someone is running away in the house. Tyler says, I will open the door and see what happened. Becca says, Okay, be careful. Open the door slightly. On which Tyler opens the door slightly and looks outside. His grandmother was running around the house in her daily condition. Then suddenly, she started walking towards them with the help of her knees. Now before entering the room, Tyler quickly closes the door and comes inside. Tyler asks her, Becca, this is a very strange behavior. Does this happen in the family disease? On which she says, Yes, it is not such a big problem. It is exactly the same when someone walks in sleep. And you also used to walk in sleep in childhood. The next morning, a woman came here who was a neighbor. She asked the children, Where are your grandparents? The children told that they are not at home now. And why did you come? On which she started telling. Actually, they had to come to the hospital on Saturday. Because they did not come, I thought that I will also come to meet them. When I entered the hospital, they took care of me along with the rest of the patients. Because they are the heads here who help people. That's why I brought a cake for them. Now after a while, when their grandparents returned home, Becca heard the laughter of their grandmother. When she went there, the grandmother was laughing, looking back and forth at the wall. Becca immediately went to them and asks, Grandma, why are you laughing so loudly? On which the grandmother started telling, Son, I have a fear, a very dangerous fear. Saying this, she tries to put her scarf around her neck and try to suffocate herself so that she dies. Seeing this, Becca got scared and said, Stop, Grandma. Grandma, stop. What will you do? Will you stop doing this? And then she stops them as she stops them. Grandma, what is all this happening? Why did you do this? When the grandmother says in a very innocent way, Son, my inner fear is so dangerous that I have to laugh to bear and hide it. Becca felt strange hearing this, so she went to her grandmother immediately to tell her everything. But she saw Becca's face was ready to take her life by pointing at her face. But when she saw Becca, she was blinded. In fear, she began to clean the gun. She says, Son, I was cleaning the gun. I was not going to shoot myself. Seeing this, she felt strange. She understood that there was something wrong here. Not only the grandmother, but also the grandmother has some mental illness or something that we will not understand. So she places a secret room with her brother where her brother was going to wear it. After this, they both came to their room. The next morning, when they woke up the next morning, they checked the camera. Seeing this, the two girls were very scared. Becca says to her, Today is our last day here. Tomorrow, we will leave from here. Okay, don't worry. And yes, we have to do everything in such a way that they have no doubt. Then when they were playing outside, the grandmother comes and asks, What is all this? I don't know. Because their mom had also returned home. Both the kids video call them. They say, Mom, sit in the car and come to pick us up. Mom says, I will come, son. What happened? Stay relaxed. It is a long journey. How can I come in the car? Becca tells them, Mom, you don't know something is going on here. Mom asks, Where are your grandparents at this time? Becca replies, They are standing down. Mom says, Show me. Mom is shocked and says, Kids, these are not your grandparents. Where are your real grandparents? Kids reply, We have been living with them since we came here. We have not seen anyone else in the house except them. Mom is very scared and calls the police immediately. But she couldn't contact the police. She is more scared and says, Kids, don't worry. I will try to reach you soon. Then their fake grandpa comes here and says, Kids, we will play board game today. As night falls, both the kids make a plan to leave. As soon as they open the door, The dead body of the neighbor is hanging on the tree. Before leaving, the fake grandpa closes the door. He says, "Come on, kids, now we will play board game." But during the game, Becca says, "My camera battery is low. I put it on charge." Grandpa had done it in the toilet clothes, so he also left from here. Now only Grandma and Tyler were here. Suddenly, his grandma starts eating strangely. Then she started shouting loudly, looking at the camera. After a while, when the fake grandpa returns, she sees the grandma standing in a strange position. And she says one thing, "I think it's 9:30. So they take her inside the room. Now Becca goes to the kitchen because she had come here to find the real grandma. Coming here, she finds the real grandma's picture. There was also a shirt on which it was written about the mental hospital, which was actually a crazy food. Then Becca removes a blanket from there. There she sees the dead bodies of 2 old people, which no one else has seen. Rather, her real grandpa was a grandma. Seeing it, she got scared. But then, her fake grandpa comes here. Actually, Becca got the shirt of the mental hospital. It was hers. Because her mental balance was not good at all. She was inside there. Actually, her real grandpa used to go to the hospital to help people. Then they were both patients in the same hospital. The real grandpa had brought them to their house. But because they were already mentally insane, they killed the real grandpa, and they took their own life. They had also killed the neighbor, because they had known that they were not real, but fake. Because they were all in the same hospital. Now they forcefully bring Becca up. They say that today is the last night of all of us. He locks Becca in that room. Where is their fake, crazy grandma? At this time, Grandma was also in a state of insanity. She attacks Becca suddenly. Then she tries to scare her by covering the sheet with a blanket. Due to this, her condition was very bad. Now she attacks her again by grabbing her from the back. She hits the glass hard. Then, she starts to behave like an animal, as if she will bite her. Before this, she kills her. Becca attacks Grandma, holding a broken piece of glass. She keeps pushing the glass into her neck again and again, and she takes Grandma's life mercilessly. The other Tyler was also scared. Then the fake grandpa comes to him and says, "I don't like you from the beginning, and you have a problem with germs, right? You have an allergy, right?" That's why this fake grandpa takes out his diaper, which was completely dirty, and puts it on Tyler's face. But then Becca comes from the back and slaps Grandpa. She tries to open her eyes, holding him. Tyler was also very angry. He had also lost his control. This crazy man who was beating his sister pushes him near the fridge. Then he hits him so hard from the switch again and again that he takes his life. After doing this, Tyler started to scream loudly. Becca took her brother out of the house with great difficulty. They saw that our mom has come here with the police. Now, the mom of the children came to them and started crying a lot. Becca takes care of her mom. She cries a lot when she is hugged by the other. The story of this film is here.